Welcome to the Grad Ireland Career Discovery Week podcast. My name is Ruairi Kavanagh, editor with Grad Ireland. In this series, we showcase the work, study and career development opportunities available with some of the employers and course providers we're featuring in the Grad Ireland Career Discovery Week. In this episode, we talk to Anam Ali, a software development consultant at Guidewire Software, about her career with the tech company, how she got the job and her ambitions for the future. So, Anam, thank you so much for joining us on the Grad Ireland Career Discovery Week podcast. We really do value your time and thanks for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
Could you just give us a quick overview as to what you do at Guidewire, what your job is, and what are the main parts of the job that you would regularly do?
So every day I work with my team to kind of solve really complex problems on a mission critical system that handles billions of dollars every year. I work with insurance industry. So, we're going through transactions every day and our products would be the products that the insurance industry would be using. So my role at Guidewire is a software consultant. And currently I'm working on a post-production environment for our cloud customers. I was initially part of this project during the implementation phase, so I stayed on this project to provide my expertise to the cloud assurance team. My daily aspects or my main components of the jobs are to help QA with their blocks. So if QA is blocked somewhere, my job is to help them out and unblock them so they can continue their day-to-day testing. I did mention that I work on a post-production. That means that the customer has gotten live already, and I'm working on the product that's already live. So I have to, our team has to make sure that this project is working properly. The product is up to date all the time because this is what the customer is seeing in real time. I have my Scrum because we work in an agile environment. I have my Scrum after my lunchtime. Basically, we talk about what the team did in the last 24 hours and what I will do in the next 24. Most of the time, we're working in a team. Right now, it's kind of difficult to do it in the same space, so we're doing it virtually on Zoom. So yeah, that's what I do on my day-to-day job.
Okay, thanks very much for that. That's a really good description of what a role of a software consultant is. And tell us a bit about your own background, like what did you study at university and why did you choose Guidewire and how did you kind of link up with them in terms of actually getting the job with the company?
Yeah, so I did my degree in DIT, now known as TUD. So I did my degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Computing, which was kind of 70% tech and then 30% business. And I actually started through Guidewire as an intern. So in my third year of university, my career guidance sent in my CV to Guidewire, and Guidewire also came to our university to do a little talk. And that's how I was introduced to the company. So my application went in and I was invited to do a 30-minute call on the phone, and where the HR kind of introduced me to the company and the role and what they're looking for, and also asked me what I want to do when I get this internship and where I want to be and what are my skills and quality that I can bring to the job. So after a couple of days, I was invited on site to do a couple of interviews. So I did a code test, which was written for me as an intern, and then I also did an hour interview with the HR manager and also 1 hour technical interview where you would do whiteboarding questions and also just normal tech questions, and where they went through my code test. And then they kind of took me on a tour of the office, and that's how the interview process went for me. Just 2 or 3 days later, I got a call from them that I have been selected as an intern, and kind of in March, I started my 6-month internship with them. I worked through different departments because it was a rotational program. So I kind of got to know a lot about the products and also the type of work every department does. And when I finished my internship, they gave me an opportunity to come back as a graduate after my graduation. So I really liked the company and I really liked the culture. Everything is super laid back, and also it's really fun to work in the office. they gave me a good career map as an intern and invested in me. It was instant want to come back as a graduate because
you felt like a fit straight away.
It was a fit like for me because that's what I wanted. So yeah, that's why I decided to come back. Like I really enjoyed it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come back if I didn't enjoy it. My advice would be, if anybody is applying to Guidewire right now, is to really look into the technical interview, learn and understand the technical knowledge, especially around Java or any object-oriented language. Look into that and practice tons of whiteboarding questions. I went through the internship interview stage, but even the graduate is the same. You would be doing a code test online and you would have a couple of interviews and you will still have a technical interview, even if it's through Zoom. Just practice lots of technical questions.
I think, for students, it's especially at the moment, it's pretty hard, obviously, to get that kind of real world experience of a place, be it through internships or, interviews and things like that. I know culture is very important to both companies and to applicants, students, and graduates. So when you're making a decision to join a company, what sort of factors should you consider, and what was important to you? I know you've mentioned some of the things there in terms of, the company investing in you and giving you a career path.
So I'm an IT graduate. So what was really important to me was to work in a workplace which allowed me to build my skills further, and also given me give me transferable skills. I wanted to work with open source languages like Guidewire does with Gosu, which is similar to Java. After my internship, it also became really important to me that we should look for a place where culture is strong. Working in a good place, a good culture, is kind of what makes you get up in the morning and go to work. Guidewire completely, like I mentioned before, invested in me as an intern and invested in my professional development. They provided me skills and opportunities to build out a career path. I think two main things as an IT graduate would be to pick somewhere where you will be able to take away skills even if you decide to leave a company, and also where a culture of a company is good, where you're not working 9 to 6 and being micromanaged. I think that's one of the good things that stood out to me as an intern, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to come back and work in Guidewire.
And I suppose for anyone listening to this who's in the Career Discovery Week and in the virtual arena, that that you kind of take the time to ask the same questions to employers that you would if you were sitting across the table from them. And I suppose as well, the skills, you've talked a lot about the object-oriented skills, obviously with a bespoke language like Gosu or with Java or other object-oriented skills, all of which would stand to anyone applying for this area. Maybe some of the soft skills that you would use on a regular basis at work. I mean, I know you work in an agile environment, so it's very collaborative.
At the current moment, my role kind of requires me to work with different customers and clients, and we often talk to their BAs and their developers and our partners. Because I work in a production environment, that means the product's already live. I have to make sure that it's working correctly. So one of the soft skills required there is good communication skills. It's so important to converse with our clients clearly and effectively, give them the correct hopes as to what's going on in the project and how we're going to fix it. There's so many people that we talk to, partners, clients, and developers, and there could be million solutions to one problem. It also means that people will not agree with you all the time, and there will be many opinions. So therefore, it's necessary to have good communication skills to work together to try and come up with one good, agreed, and effective solution. Like I mentioned Agile before, time management skills are extremely important to my job. They're important to any job, but specifically when you're working in an agile environment, you do have deadlines to work on. Especially for me, when I work with live production defects, I have to be able to provide a quick fix. And sometimes it's not easy to, provide a quick turnaround. So it's really crucial for me to be organized with time. And also it kind of helps me overall. It avoids working extra hours and avoids stress in general. Guidewire did provide all the new graduates with time management workshops when we joined. So it kind of made it easy for us to understand the need to be organized. Those two soft skills are completely important.
Yeah, I think you've kind of touched on, some of the initial challenges that someone is going to face in the tech sector. How did a company like Guidewire support you in terms of settling in? And I suppose now, you've had some experience, but you're obviously finding, like the rest of us, this to be a very surreal situation to be working virtually for so long. And what are some of the supports the company have put in place to make sure that you keep working efficiently and that you still enjoy your job and are able to collaborate with your colleagues?
To be honest, look, every job is gonna be hard when you're starting out. It's exciting, it's scary, it's stressful. When I joined, I was kind of worried that I was always surrounded by very smart people who knew the product off by heart, and I was working in front end when I started, and I had no clue how AngularJS, which is one of the languages Guidewire use, and I had no idea how it worked. And I was so intimidated to ask questions to people around me because I didn't want to disturb them. My project was extremely fast-paced, and it was just very overwhelming to me. It's been 2 years, nearly 2 years that I'm working in Guidewire, and I feel like I have become the person who knows the project off by heart now. So I would tell anybody who's starting out that it's okay. You're gonna feel overwhelmed. It's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to feel out of place as well. Things will eventually start to make sense. The best advice I can give to a graduate is prepare to learn and prepare to be focused and have a focused mindset, because training can be difficult when you start because we just finished college and we don't want to go back into the study mode. But it's okay. It's just a couple of months of more exam and a little bit of learning. These few months will definitely help you understand what's going on. Specifically for Guidewire, they will help you understand the insurance industry, how things work in the insurance environment, and how Guidewire projects work. When I started, I was put through kind of 2 months of training where I learned about the insurance industry, and I learned about their core products. Also, when I mentioned to my manager that I didn't know how to work with AngularJS, they provided me with free libraries that I could kind of look into and study Angular and be able to take some lessons. They also assigned me to a mentor who was helping me try and build on those technical skills. Also, like in terms of social aspects, I feel like I'm a very shy person, so it was really hard for me to go in knowing that I didn't know anybody, even though from the internship I had a little idea of who everybody was. But those 2 months of training really made a difference, because I was in the room with some people who just started at the same as me, and it kind of helps break down that barrier because we're all in the same boat. Guidewire basically has this services meeting every year where you go to a place in US and everybody from the whole office anywhere in the world will come there, and we get to know people who we work with virtually. Like we have offices in Malaysia, UK, US. We all come to US there and we talk to everybody there, so it kind of helps with the social aspect as well, and also learning because everybody brings their expertise there. I was lucky enough to go when I was an intern, and I went to Atlanta in US, and that was my first time going to US as well. When I started in August in 2018, just after a week, I got to go to Washington, D.C., and that kind of helped me further kind of bond with the people who started with me, and I can say like these are my best friends at work at the moment. In terms of with everything going with the pandemic, Guidewire has been really grateful to us. Well, first of all, luckily we are in a place where we can do things virtually because we already did it that way in the office. So it's good that we can work from home and we're not at the stage where we're closed down completely. But further with that, Guidewire helped us organize a home office. They gave us $500 where we can, get chairs, get screens, get keyboards, etc., to make sure that we are able to concentrate at home. We also kind of get weekly meal supplements where we can go and help support our local takeaways. and restaurants. So Guidewire would cover like half of the expense there. We also, if we upgraded our internet or anything, they're paying the bills for us. We also got an early bonus out as well to help anybody who maybe whose spouse or partners lost jobs, etc. So to help out with like financially, they helped out a lot. And I think that is also another thing that really makes Guidewire stand out, because they really, really helped us out during this time.
Okay, great stuff. And so if someone is coming up in the Gradireland Career Discovery Week, if someone is entering the Guidewire virtual booth, what sort of if you could summarize it, what sort of a career can they expect with the company?
So we have a couple of different roles out there. I think like if anything with the consultancy role that you will pick, it will be talking to the customers, as well as technically working on a story or defects. With the consultancy role, it's good to have good communication skills there. But even if you don't have those, Guidewire gives out a lot of training, whether it's technical or communication. They do give out a lot of training and they will help you out. So most of the consultancy roles are technical and communication. And then we might have some PD roles, which are just software developer roles, where you will be working on the actual core product rather than the customization that we do for the customers.
Okay, so it sounds like there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of scope there for anyone from a tech background who's looking for a career. As you say, it involves you in both the development of the product and post-launch maintenance, fixing, and optimization of the product.
Yeah, we're lucky that we're still hiring even in this environment.
Very good. That's always good news to hear these days. And just in terms of your career, how would you hope to see your career develop with Guidewire over the next few years?
So one of my long-term goals when I joined Guidewire, and even before the internship, I always wanted to move to US to our field consultancy department. So which means that I would be working on the customer site and doing consultancy there. With my recent promotion, I did manage to get a start on my long-term career. And this was my goal since the internship. Just before the lockdown, I was due to get my visa to the States, but because of the pandemic, this was delayed until things get better. But I'm still working with my Dublin team remotely. And I will start my visa process once things are better, and I will move to the States and work with the American team, hopefully soon. And other than that, long-term goal would be to kind of get into consultancy management roles, where I would be managing people and also working with the technical environment. So yeah, that's how
exciting times ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it must be quite frustrating, obviously, to be that close to it, and then something like this happens. But I suppose these are the sort of knockbacks that can add to your sense of resilience for dealing with future setbacks or challenges in your career.
Yeah. It was a little sad at the beginning because it was such a long time coming, but Guidewire was helping me through everything there. They were providing me with the lawyers and everything. So it's still okay. I'm still gonna go. I still have the contract signed already, and it's just a matter of when rather than
better to go when you're safe and all things are back to some sort of normality. Listen, Anam, thanks so much for joining us here today on the Guidewire Career Discovery Week podcast. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us on the Guidewire Career Discovery Week podcast. Make sure to check out the other episodes in our series and browse through our other content, such as live blogs, articles, webinars and live panel discussions.